We will be looking at page 219, part 2. We worked on page 219 as well yesterday. We're dealing with graphing linear equations. Our assignment was 11 through 18. We've already done a couple of these in class. I'm now going to look at problem number 15. 15 says 2y, minus 6x is equal to 10. Well, we want to graph this linear equation, so we need a few points. 2 would be sufficient, but we're going to graph 3. We will get these points by solving for y, inputting some x's, and finding the corresponding y outputs. So I begin by solving for y. Step 1, solve for y. Okay, so we have 2y minus 6x equals 10. To solve for y, that is get y by itself, I should add 6x to both sides. Adding 6x to the left and adding 6x to the right. Equals remains in the middle. These two are unlike terms. They can't be combined. So I will leave it as 6x plus 10. The 6x cancels with the 6x to leave the 2y. Solving for y, I will now divide by 2 on both sides. 2 divides 2 to leave y. Taking each of these terms and individually dividing by 2. 6x divides by 2 to leave 3x. Plus 10 divided by 2 is plus 5. Now we are ready to graph. Step 2. Find points. So, create my t-chart. X is my input, Y is my output. I can input any X I choose to. One that I insist that you use is 0. Because 0 is easy to do, and it turns out that the y value that 0 pairs to it will have importance later on. Substituting 0 in place of x. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. Now we'll use one other positive and negative number. I'm going to substitute positive 1 and negative 1. Substituting positive 1 in place of x. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 5 is 8. If x is 1, y is 8. Now substituting negative 1. I'm going to show the negative 1 substitution so we're clear what's going on. X is negative 1. Negative 1 is coming in place of x. You can use your calculator to evaluate this right side. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, plus 5 is a positive 2. Y is 2. What we're saying here is when x is negative 1, y is 2. Okay. So step 1, we solve for y. Step 2, we find some points. We find some points by making up our own x values, any that we want, with the qualifier being I want to see 0 and then 1 positive and 1 negative. Then substituting these values in for x, we find the y's that correspond. Step 3. Graph. Take your time and draw right on the line. The horizontal axis is the x-axis. The vertical axis is the y-axis. We want to plot the points. 0 pairs with 5. Left, right or left 0, then up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0 pairs with 5. 1 pairs with 8. Right 1 and then up 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 8. Lastly, negative 1 pairs with 2. Left negative 1, up 2. 1, 2. This is the point, negative 1, 2. As you notice, these 3 points indeed fall in a straight line. Using some sort of straight edge, draw a line through the points. Note that I drew the points small. Small points make a more precise line. Note also that the line rises as we move to the right. That is, as we read. If you wrote your name on this line, your name would be moving up. This line is moving up because the coefficient of x is positive.